Wachovia Center in Philadelphia sold out. Over 17,000 fans today for the inaugural game of the AFL's Philadelphia Soul. And rock and roll Hall of Famer Sam Moore of Sam and Dave fame singing their hit Soul Man before the game today. Sam Moore of Sam and Dave fame as the Philadelphia Soul play their first ever game. And appropriate that music was involved because one of the owners of the Philadelphia Soul is rocker John Bon Jovi. A high five there from his team president, who is Ron Jaworski of Philadelphia Eagles Stadium, the old quarterback.
Yeah, you know, absolute credibility in this town because Ron Jaworski is involved as president. Longtime Eagle, great at quarterback.
And appropriate, too, that another expansion team be the inaugural opponent here. That's the New Orleans Voodoo. So two great football towns, Pat, Philadelphia and New Orleans, here in this first ever AFL game in Philadelphia.
Yeah, you know, and if you're new to the Arena Football League, what to expect? Well, if you like, you know, low-scoring games, if you like defensive struggles, and you like to see soaring punts, you got the wrong game. It's a high-scoring game, balls off the nets, players going into the stands, going against the sideboards, and every single play is a scoring opportunity.
Those nets and sideboards are in play, and it's a fast-paced game. If you're new to the AFL, expect scores in the 50s, 60s, even 70s at times. And if a game is such an offensive game, defensive stops become huge.
Yeah, and look at that, 63 kicks were returned for touchdowns last year in the Arena Football League, which is phenomenal. There's Mike Trey. His team last year in Grand Rapids scored 81 points and lost a game. How about that?
Philadelphia Soul receives to open the game. You had a quick look there at number 1, Ricky Ross, who will return the kick of Brian Schmitz of New Orleans. Remember now, the nets are in play. An onside kick could be a big weapon. They kick it away, and it's off the net to Ross. Here's Ross with a good return. Spun down. Close to midfield, the 25-yard line, marking it about the 23, a 27-yard return. Dan Curran on the special teams tackle for the Voodoo. Hey, two great names, too, the Philadelphia Soul and the New Orleans Voodoo.
How about the Voodoo colors there? What, a battleship gray and what do they call it, soul blue?
Yeah, that's the Soul colors. Yeah. New Orleans colors are what? Purple, black, and sort of rust red. So here's the first play from scrimmage. The quarterback of the Philadelphia Soul, Nick Browder, 6'3", 220 pounds, in his 5th year from Valparaiso. And a quick screen pass completes to Graham. Darren Graham on the reception, and Curran makes another stop. He is a linebacker for the Voodoo.
Now you mentioned Nick Browder in his 5th year, really his first year as a starter, and Michael Trigg, the head football coach of the Philadelphia Soul right there, said, hey, this is his time. He is ready. He said he was actually ready in 2001 in Grand Rapids, but they had another quarterback there, Clint Dalzell, but he gets his first chance as a starter in this league, but a very, very accurate thrower.
And his first pass went for 7 yards.
Now, this is not a game of field position. You'll see a lot of long passes thrown in this league.
Game of possession. That's the operative term, right? As Graham makes the catch. Those sideboards are not out of bounds, but there is a stripe at the bottom of that board, and that is out of bounds. He did step out of bounds, but you can blast off that board and not be out of bounds. And
I don't know if we've mentioned, Tom, it's 8 on 8 players versus 8 players. Most of these players go both ways. I mean, very, very athletic guys, particularly in the line position. You play offensive line and you flip it over and you play defensive end and you go down and cover a kick.
And appropriate that one of the highest honors in this league is Iron Man for the players that play both ways, offense and defense. Here's a rare running play. We should mention that too. You won't see too many carries. Chris Ryan carries this one, and if you look at the back of his jersey when he turns around, you see 315 pounds. That's Soul Train, the nickname given to him the first time he met John Bon Jovi. We also understand that that's not exactly an AFL regulation name on the back, and they're going to review that. But we talked to Chris Ryan yesterday a bit, and he made us all smile. He had a big smile, and it was infectious.
You see that 124 rushes, 413 yards in his career. That is a lot of yards in the indoor game. Only 3,000-yard career rushers in the league.
Graham on second down. Try to slant, and Bruce McClure in the center of the defensive line for the Voodoo was ready for him.
You know, Tom, this is really a small field compared to the outdoor game. This is a conventional NFL field, 100 yards long with the 10-yard end zones. You could actually fit 4 Arena League fields inside an NFL field. It's 50 yards long with 8-yard end zones, 28 yards wide, 8 players on a side. So it gets very, very tight in this area of the field where the soul is on the 7-yard line. You need a quarterback with a very strong arm to drill the ball in for touchdowns.
Crowder for the end zone. And it's a touchdown, the first ever. Touchdown by the Philadelphia Soul. John Bon Jovi with a celebration. His team's first possession results in a touchdown.
Yeah, that's their offensive specialist, Tyrone Jones. One player on offense designated as just an offensive player. That is he, Tyrone Jones. And he came in as a free agent, and he actually made a nice catch. Good touch pass by Nick Browder over the top. And again, right into those sideboards. They're not quite as soft as they look, as we found out last year, huh, Tom?
Tyrone Jones, a very sought-after free agent, pays an immediate dividend. And the extra point is good by Ken Hensley. So the Philadelphia Soul on top after taking the opening kickoff and marching down the field. And it's a game that will feature a lot of this scoring. And the Philadelphia Soul break on top 7-0 over New Orleans. And here we are back for our second year of AFL football. We had a ball last year the first time out, and we discovered some things. It was real football. Yep. Different skills required than the outdoor game.
Yeah, you know, a lot of these guys couldn't make NFL teams, but there's a lot of guys in the National Football League who could not play in this game. And we didn't mention no punting. So if you like those defensive games with lots of punts, go somewhere else. But
who likes those?
You don't. But you have got great athletes. So here's some of the differences. We talked about the 50-yard field, those 8 players per side. Most of them play both ways. Primarily a passing game. We did see 1 run. You don't see many of those in this league. You see about 5 or 6 runs per game. And that's the difference. And nets and boards are in play. Every single play, Tom, is a scoring opportunity. We saw the graphic at the very beginning of this broadcast.
Right.
63 kicks were returned for touchdowns. And to me, that's the most exciting play in football. Indoors or outdoors, a return kick for a touchdown.
And nuances of strategy. Some of the things that fans are used to seeing, the opposite in the indoor game.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. You may not want to score too quickly. And the key is near the end of the half, that last minute of each half, you're trying to get back-to-back possession. So sometimes you see teams really kind of slow it down, where in the outdoor game, you're trying to score as quickly as you can.
Well, if you're new to the game, we're throwing a lot of stuff at you here at once. But if you'll stick with us, you'll find that it is an exciting, high-powered, offensive-type game. And, in fact, when we did our first season last year, the first 3 or 4 games we did all came down to the last play of the game.
Yeah, no lead is safe. The very last play. That's why, kickers not only have to have a difficult time because it's a very narrow upright they're trying to kick the ball through, but they have to be good tacklers. I was talking to the kicker for New Orleans before the game, Ryan Smith, made 13 tackles last year, and those tackles saved touchdowns.
And so Philadelphia will kick it off after taking a 7-0 lead. Hensley kicking it to Aaron Bailey. Bailey off the net. And Bailey dodging 2 tacklers and stopped just short of the 15-yard line. Travis Seaton made the tackle as the Philadelphia Soul, for the first time in franchise history, get a touchdown pass. Browder to Jones in the corner of the end zone. Took a pounding off the board for his efforts, but his owner, John Bon Jovi, more than delighted with that opening drive.
I'd give your right arm to have his hair. Oh, how is it?
You're living on a prayer for that, young man.
I knew you'd get to that. Now, you see, guys, sometimes you lose guys into the stands. Now, the fans are allowed to keep the football if they go in the stands, but you must throw the players back.
Right X-ray, X back, right X-ray.
You can keep the ball. Here's go right. And you're going to see this a lot today and all through the year. You know, he nearly gets in the stands. And you see a lot of foul balls. You see a lot of balls go into the stands. The fans get to keep them. But, you know, those players go there. They get to get back to the next play. Throw them back.
Pass complete. John Fitzgerald is the quarterback for the New Orleans Voodoo. He's 6'4", 230 pounds in his 4th season from Tulsa. He's played for Dallas, Carolina, and Houston, and like his counterpart for the Soul, looking for a chance to be the main man.
Yeah, well, in 2002 at Carolina, there's Mike New, the head coach, who he played for Mike in Carolina in 2002. John Fitzgerald had a very good year, and particularly throwing the ball to Aaron Bailey, number 7, who is their offensive specialist right here. They had 18 touchdown passes between them.
They've been working together in New Orleans since October to get that offensive game in sync. And we invite you to log on to NBCSports.com for more on the Arena Football League. Check out Pat's expert analysis, including his pick to win the Arena Bowl and his players to watch this season, all at NBCSports.com.
You always chuckle about my expert analysis.
There was a little pause there.
I actually picked the Los Angeles Avengers to win it all. They've got 3 great offensive stars back and really improved their defense.
19 teams in the league. The first penalty marker comes down, and only 8 are going to make the playoffs. Bailey was on the receiving end of that pass, but the flags came down early. Pat Garvey heads today's officiating crew.
You know, that's another thing about this league. Officials let these players play for the most part. Remember, no preseason game, so this is ordinarily the opening game of an outdoor game. See all kinds of penalties. You just don't see as many in the indoor game.
The pass went for 15 yards. Should it stand? Offside against Philadelphia. Declined.
And the Philadelphia fans in full form, booing already. Fantastic.
Well, Philly fans are Philly fans, no matter the sport, huh?
Well, you know, there was a kind of a reception a couple of nights ago where they introduced a team in front of 10,000 fans. The field goal kicker for the Soul missed a field goal and got booed.
The Soul sold 10,000 season tickets. Here's Fitzgerald. Chase from the pocket. Unloads it, and a flag down as the pass incomplete intended for Bailey.
We talked about over 10,000 season tickets sold. This is a football town. I mean, it's a great town. If the Soul can really, you know, get off to a good start and win, they can win over this town for a long time. And they can make this place, like Orlando and Tampa Bay, a tough place for visitors to come in and win.
It's against New Orleans. You know, but so is New Orleans a great football town.
You know, interesting how the teams
offensive interference
built their expansion teams a little bit differently, Tom, as we talked to the head coaches this week. Mike Trigg, really with a lot more veterans. 15 players that he coached at Grand Rapids are now on his team with a lot more experience. New Orleans, Mike New was saying, hey, he wanted to start with real good defensive linemen, and he's picked up 2 particularly good defensive linemen in B.J. Cohen and Tim Martin.
One of the reasons that he took that approach is he's in the Southern Division, and he said that's the division that has some of the best defensive teams, physical teams, and he had to be able to compete on that level, playing each of those divisional opponents twice. Bailey catches and then immediately is driven back by Travis Seaton. Seaton is a defensive specialist. Those are only one-way players. They play defense only.
We talk about these two-way players, and we mentioned Tim Martin, number 96 for New Orleans, who plays there sometimes the tight end and sometimes the tackle. You'll see one of the players here, number 96. If he raises his hand coming out of the huddle, he's the tight end for the player. If not, so he's not the tight end. But you'll see him block on this play. And then when they're on defense, he's a rushing defensive end. He's primarily a pass rusher, but he's really improved in his pass protection.
They had a trips formation, as they say. 3 wide receivers bunched, but the pass broken up by Deontay Brown.
Okay, that's a nice play by Deontay Brown, number 10. And as you saw earlier with a touchdown, when Philadelphia threw it by Brown, a little touch pass, John Fitzgerald was trying to throw it over the top of Brown, but just didn't get enough air on it, and Brown makes a nice play.
So coming up, a 3rd and 11 for the Voodoo.
And Aaron Bailey up here, their offensive specialist, and John Fitzgerald said anytime it's a 3rd down play, I'm looking for Aaron Bailey.
Bailey was in motion for the end zone. He can't get there. Aaron Bailey, the offensive specialist for the Voodoo, who spent some time in the NFL, 5 years with Indianapolis.
My name is Sergeant James Master Domenico, and this is Camp Butter, Florida. Tonight is my last mission at Ranger School.
Yeah, we're back, and that was actually a missed field goal attempt. Among all the rules we did mention, if you miss a field goal, it's a live ball, returnable. So one moment you're an offensive lineman protecting for your kicker, the next moment you're trying to make a tackle.
Brian Schmitz missing a 26-yard attempt off the net, and a flag down on the attempted return. And he interfered with the chance to catch that ball off the net. And there's a look at Mike Trigg, the coach. Here is the missed attempt by Schmitz. Off the net, and interference with a chance to receive it off the net. So it will be Philadelphia's ball when we return to the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia. The Soul leading 7-0.
My name is Sergeant James Master Domenico, and this is Camp Butter, Florida. Tonight is my last mission at Ranger School.
All right, Rangers, listen up. I'm going to give you the general concept for tonight's operation. We'll begin by you guys linking up with trucks.
The last 90 days have been the hardest, most brutal days of my entire life.
After moving down Route Magenta, we're going to drop you off at the boat embarkation site.
On average, we get about an hour or two of sleep a night. It's nothing but sleep deprivation, food deprivation, stress.
You will then conduct a tactile movement back to the link-up site.
The crazy thing is, I actually chose to do this.
Welcome to Ranger School.
And there's no guarantee that I'll even pass.
See if James makes the grade only at GoArmy.com. Moving in. Sweet.
Let's go, guys.
The ups, the downs.
Yeah, I got it. Thanks.
The pain. The moment of choice. Tylenol or Advil? Reality is, Advil liquid gels rush faster, stronger, better relief than extra strength Tylenol to tough pain.
Time for our first party.
Hey guys. Hey.
Come on in. Yeah.
For faster relief, advance to Advil Relief. NBC next Sunday. It's the premiere of Shrek on NBC. Idiots!
Oh, that's not very nice. It's just a donkey.
Shrek, NBC next Sunday.
Professional bull riders riding the meanest bulls around. The difference between glory or pain is just 8 seconds. The Anaheim Open, next Sunday, 5 Eastern, NBC.
This is Al Troutwig in New York. Hey, Tom Hammond, we thought you'd like to hear your son David call his first touchdown.
Little split by Stafford. Moved to run, and he finds Tolliver in the back of the end zone for a touchdown. Good composure by Shane Stafford after stumbling a little bit, regained his footing, and found Tolliver, his main receiver.
That's a pretty cool moment for the Hammond family. Congratulations, Tom. For the record, the defending AFL champions lead at 7-0. Back to you in Philly.
That was more nervous than David, I think.
Yeah.
He sounded all right, though. He sounded okay on that one.
Always worry about your kids. Congratulations, Tom.
Congratulate David. Like I said, I was more nervous than David. I hope he gets through that game pretty well. Meantime, here in Philadelphia, 28-yard gain on first down on another pass from Nick Browder.
Yeah,
and the Soul moving again.
Yeah, to Ricky Ross, number 1, who's had a terrific career thus far. 123 catches the last 3 years for Ricky Ross. Also a very good kick returner. He's number 1.
And a run by Travis McDonald on first down. Doesn't get much. Galen Hyder makes the tackle for the Voodoo.
Yeah, we said you don't see many runs in the Arena League game. We've seen 2 thus far by the Soul. You might see 5 in the total of the game. And the reason you don't see many runs is you're really outnumbered. You have 3 defenders and then 2 linebackers inside. The offense only has 3 blockers and just that fullback. So you have those 5 defenders with 3 blockers. So you just don't see much until you get down by the goal line.
Second down and 8 from the 10-yard line of New Orleans. Philadelphia already leads 7-0. The clock continues to roll until the final minute of the half. That's another rule we should bring up. Short gain on that one, packed just to the line of scrimmage as Ross makes the catch, and Monty Montgomery on the stop for New Orleans. Are they going to have their sights set on Monty today?
Yeah, Monty Montgomery, number 25 for New Orleans, a guy that has had a lot of starting NFL experience, but he is a rookie in the Arena League, and it's a much different job of covering these men in motion in this league. And he said to us yesterday, you know, I hope they test him. Well, I promise you they will, because it's man-on-man coverage all over the field, particularly with this guy in motion. See, up and back, covering a guy full speed.
Browder broken up, and that was Monty Montgomery.
A terrific play by Delmonico Lamont Montgomery.
Named after a steak. I like it.
I knew you would. But that good anticipation, because he was working against Tyrone Jones, number 6. You see, he's got a full head of steam. And what you have to do a little bit in this league is guess. He was taking away the post cut and then just drove and knocked the ball away when Tyrone Jones broke outside.
Montgomery played 54 NFL games with Indianapolis, San Francisco, and Philadelphia. 25-yard field goal to Hensley. That one was partially blocked. That's a live ball. It'll be down in the end zone.
It was blocked by Galen Hyder, number 94.
Hyder with the block, and that is a stop for the New Orleans defense. So Philadelphia had a stop earlier of New Orleans, and the Voodoo with a stop of their own. It remains Philadelphia 7-0 after Hyder blocks this Hensley field goal attempt.
Hey guys, meet the new guy. Hi, I'm Bob Holtkamp.
Hey, help yourself to some snacks. Speaking of which, you know what would taste good about now?
Yeah, a big, hot and juicy cheeseburger.
With everything. I can almost taste it.
Knowing me, if there were a place to get a hamburger that good this late, I'd not only drive, I'd buy.
Really?
Wendy's classic hamburgers are made fresh, so they're always hot and juicy, so you can eat great even late.
You must be the new guy.
Yeah, thanks.
Wendy's, it's better here.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a woman keeps track of millions of dollars in inventory, safeguarding it from the warehouse to your house. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on America's #1 security company, ADT. Always there.
Now, gentlemen, today's paintball match, we will be playing for Bud Light. What are you doing?
Thought you said it's for Bud Light.
It is for Bud Light. You have to capture this flag first. There it is!
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
Take a Bud Light.
It's all here.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. By ADT, America's residential and commercial security leader. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. And by Wendy's Classic Hamburgers. It's better here. Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Lewis Johnson. Wachovia Center in Philadelphia, inaugural game of the Philadelphia Soul, who lead the New Orleans Voodoo, another expansion team, 7-0. We're having a lot of fun here in our first AFL game of the season. As New Orleans takes over, flag is down. Fitzgerald winging it downfield for Bailey. Collision incomplete, but the flag came down early.
Boy, in this league, if you're a quarterback, you can take a lot of shots. Obviously, every play is a passing play, and so you're going to take a lot of shots. So you have to learn how to throw the ball accurately off balance. And John Fitzgerald had to definitely throw that one off balance, not
Legal
terribly
motion,
accurate, though.
offense number 42. That penalty will be declined. His open play stands. Second down.
Primarily man-for-man coverage. So if your quarterback is saying, I'm going to have guys running wide open, and you will from time to time, but you must get rid of the ball quickly. Primarily three-step drop game, Tom. Sometimes we do five-step drops, but generally it's a three-step drop game.
So you have to read quickly, deliver quickly, and you have to deliver from some awkward angles sometimes, too, huh?
Indeed. You throw it sidearm, overhand, 3 different deliveries.
Bailing again, the intended receiver, and the pass broken up. The hit was perfectly timed by Akita Crespina.
That's 2 plays in a row by Akita Crespina.
He's from Temple. He's local. Local.
All right, let's go right.
Lives in Philadelphia, born here.
Left swim, Z back.
If you can purchase Philadelphia
51 shop.
Okay, well, let's do them. Call it in the huddle.
Let's go left twin, Z back, 51 shop on one-on-one. Ready?
Okay, the Z back. That's the Z. That's going to be the man in motion. 50 generally means a 5-step drop. So a little bit long. There's the guy in motion. It'll be a 5-step drop.
Flag down. Blow the play dead. Fitzgerald has missed his last 4 passes.
They got their heads in front of the dang thing down there. You can't see it.
That was Fitzgerald saying someone had their head in front of the
Play game.
The play clock.
On the offense, that penalty enforced half the distance to the goal line.
Well, the fans are very close to the action, including your play clock.
You're part of the action if you're literally.
Absolutely.
Fitzgerald now 4 of 9, having missed his last 9, half the distance to the goal, puts the ball just beyond the 2-yard line. This is a 3rd and 10.
And here's Aaron Daly, the offensive specialist, the guy that had hooked up so well in 2002.
I thought that was going to be a free play. It looked like Philadelphia jumped offside, but perhaps they were drawn off.
Encroachment. Defense, number 95. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Playing Missouri offside, so he did make contact, I guess. That's why the play was blown dead. Dwayne Missouri from Northwestern. He was the first Philadelphia player, actually, or the trade from Colorado. Dwayne Missouri, who was born in Germany. Just so
you were waiting for him to make a play. I can tell.
Lamont Moore is the motion man. Fitzgerald. Pass caught against the boards. That was Lamont Moore, who had gone in motion. He was out of bounds as he hit the board there, but into Philadelphia territory for a gain of 20. Yeah. Stopped by Joseph Todd.
Nice play by Lamont Moore, and a good throw by Fitzgerald. Hangs in there right over the top. You're throwing over those tall arms to the wide receiver. Now, ordinarily, you could bounce off the wall and still be in play, but if you touch that sideline, as he did, you're out of bounds.
Final seconds now of the first quarter. Clock does not stop except in the final minute of the half, final minute of the game. And you heard Fitzgerald say, hurry, hurry. He's got about 25 seconds, and he'll get the play off easily. Fitzgerald intended for his tight end Lancaster, Sacha Lancaster, and it was zipped by Lancaster before he ever had a chance to draw a bead on it.
They're obviously not in sync. As we said, most teams get those preseason games. In arena football, you do not. And they were out of sync in the passing game.
Defense, number 44. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 1st down.
But bailed out by the offside from Travis McDonald.
I enjoyed talking to Travis McDonald yesterday, the linebacker for the Philadelphia Soul, one of their co-captains. All-time leading tackler at Missouri was number 44, Travis McDonald.
He had 165 as a senior.
Unbelievable. So it's a great story. He's recruited by Andy Reid. Andy Reid was the offensive line coach at Missouri. And then studied economics at Missouri. Very interesting guy.
And that's the end of the first quarter, the first ever game for Philadelphia and New Orleans, with the Philadelphia Soul leading the New Orleans Voodoo 7-0 at the end of 1. And we'll return to the AFL on NBC after these messages from your local NBC station.
NBC Tuesday, for one night only. It's Thursday on Tuesday.
What did I say?
Starting with Friends and the Danny DeVito episode everyone's still talking about.
This is so hard!
Followed by an all-new emotional Will and Grace.
How much do I have to eat before the pain goes away?
And on Scrubs, Michael J. Fox makes his triumphant return to television.
Can you not point that at me?
Friends, Will and Grace, and Michael J. Fox on Scrubs, NBC Tuesday.
Today's game, locally sponsored by your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Need a reason to get an Explorer during the President's Day sales event? Reason 1, a free fold-flat third-row seat. Reason 2, a free power moonroof. Need another reason? You can get Explorer for only $319 a month during the President's Day sales event. That's only $319 a month for the best-selling SUV on the planet, including the exclusive independent rear suspension. No wonder more people return to Ford than any other make. Great deals, plenty of reasons. Only at your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Again, Hut? Are you still watching cable? Recruit, repeat after me. This is DirecTV. So is this and this, because you will get up to 3 rooms for free when you call now. With DirecTV service, you get over 135 digital quality channels, including your locals, for just $39.99 a month. This is your DirecTV remote control. It is your best friend. Use it to get the big games, the big names, and more programs on more networks at a better value than cable. Unlike digital cable, every channel in your programming package is 100% digital quality picture and sound. This is your DirecTV satellite dish. Outstanding reception in all weather. You do not need to install your system. Standard professional installation is free with this offer. Get up to a 3-room DirecTV system for free and pay one low price for over 135 channels, including locals. Act now and get 3 months of HBO free from DirecTV. Don't miss this great deal. Call today. Oh, at ease.
Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Lewis Johnson in Philadelphia, ready to start the second quarter. Yeah, the Soul Man or some of his friends out here today. Whole stands full of them, over 17,000 on hand. Is that phone for you, Pat?
I'm here to phone too, neighbors.
I think Al's calling.
Is he?
Let's go to Al Troutwig in New York for an update.
In New York, let's check out the Dragons and the Georgia Force. It's going to be 14-0 right here.
Hey, Rodney Filer on the ground on a pass-oriented league and team with Aaron Garcia. Rodney Filer with the ground game, 2 rushing touchdowns.
That's the story in this game. 14-0 New York over Georgia.
Second down play. Pass complete inside the 5-yard line as New Orleans threatening to tie the score here. And John Fitzgerald finding his rhythm. That's a gain of 14. Joseph Todd made the tackle on Aaron Bailey. Bailey, who played 5 years in Indianapolis, 63 games, 9 starts for the Colts. Had 67 career receptions, 6 touchdowns, and the Colts' all-time career kickoff return leader with 3,500 yards.
You remember Tommy said to us yesterday he's really playing with a heavy heart. He really was very concerned. His father passed away right before Christmas. Wasn't sure how well he was going to play today.
Dan Curran on the run for the touchdown for New Orleans. Curran, the fullback, in his 4th year from New Hampshire, scoots across the left side into the end zone for the New Orleans touchdown, getting by Travis Seaton for the score.
From New Hampshire, got 4 votes in the primary, I'm told, just a few weeks ago. But we said running down by the goal line is really the only time you see effective running. And usually, oftentimes, you'll see a wide receiver. They'll pitch a ball to the wide receiver to try to even the numbers up.
Brian Schmitz will attempt to tie it with a point after up on its way, and it is no good. Schmitz off to a rocky start. Missed a field goal from 25 yards. Now misses the point after. So Philadelphia remains in front. Touchdown run by Dan Curran, but the point after no good. 7-6 Philly.
Here I come, I'm for safest of all. I can lock on my doors. It's the only way to live in cars.
Observe the panicked look of the last-minute shopper. Fortunately, Helzberg Diamond's value promise ensures the perfect gift at the perfect price. Panic button off. Helzberg Diamonds. Confidence comes in a burgundy box.
For the kitchen of your dreams, you'll feel right at home at Lowe's.
Hi, we just came from a kitchen store and the prices shocked you. Yeah.
Lowe's has the biggest selection and the best brands of cabinets, countertops, and appliances, so you can have the kitchen you want, whatever your budget. We'll even install it. And Lowe's has low prices every day, guaranteed. That's our promise.
Wow. Thank you, Lowe's.
Lowe's, improving home improvement. NBC Monday, find out who will make it to the Fear Factor couples finale. With $1 million on the line, we've cooked up a stunt so terrifying it will make someone do this.
I can't do it!
Who's going home?
I can't do it!
All new Fear Factor couples, NBC Monday.
Pat, you'd look good in one of those Soul Man hats, I think.
I actually picked up a couple of them last night after I put you to bed. Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah. Hey, you know, we talk about these athletes being so versatile. You have to do a little bit of everything, including playing special teams. I mean, we talked a couple times about Tim Martin, the ex-defensive end. Now he's forced to go down and cover a kick as well.
Schmitz with a kickoff. Tyrone Jones looks up at the net, sees it sail into the stands. That'll be a touchback and a souvenir. The ball come out to the 5-yard line on the touchback, and Philadelphia will take over there, holding a slim 1-point lead, 7-6 after the missed extra point. There's the souvenir. That's the new football this year, by the way, for the AFL. Redesigned. I like it.
Kind of handsome. Absolutely handsome. Yeah, we just talked about Tim Martin. You know, he's number 96 right here. Okay, so you're playing offensive tackle, then you're rushing the passer on defense, and then you got to sprint down 50 yards.
Was that a sprint?
Well, not exactly a sprint. I mean, it looked like fourth-class mail, actually, that kind of speed. But Tim's one of the better all-two-way players in the league now on defense.
It's the bulk rate in his case. Yeah. Pass to Gary Compton is complete. Chris Pointer makes the stop for New Orleans.
Gary Compton is one of the great all-time arena players. He's number 4 for the Soul. Over 10,000 reception yards by Gary Compton in his 13th year. He actually played at East Texas State with his coach, Michael Trigg. Michael Trigg was the quarterback. He was a receiver there.
That'll make you feel old.
Yeah, boy. Well, what a career, though, that Compton
has, and what a steadying influence the veteran is on this Philadelphia team. Browder stands in the pocket and then is blasted at the last minute just as he unloads the ball, and it was Tim Martin on cue that got to him. Let's go down and check in with Lewis Johnson.
All right, Tom, you know both of these franchises were built from scratch, and back on November 7th in New Orleans, over 400 athletes showed up to try out for the Voodoo. Here in Philadelphia, over 800 people showed up to try out for this team. They paid $50. They got to run through some drills, some one-on-one, got a T-shirt, and out of all of those athletes, there are 2 players on the active roster for the Philadelphia Soul, 4 others that are on the inactive roster. But a great opportunity for a bunch of players to maybe live an AFL dream. Tom?
All right, Lewis, third down play against pressure, and a beautiful diving catch is made by Jones.
They called it off.
No, incomplete. I thought it was good. Now they say, yeah, incomplete.
It was a heck of an effort by Tyrone Jones. His 7th year from Grambling. Great offensive specialist. And, you know, another thing is he's an unbelievable kick returner. Watch the diving effort here. Hits the turf. But 10 kickoff returns for touchdown, 2 for Tyrone Jones. So,
meanwhile, Tim Martin was putting the pressure again on Browder.
Yeah, Tim Martin, you know, runs down the kicks, rushes the passer, protects the passer.
So here's 4th down. No punting, remember, so you have a couple choices. Try a field goal or go for it on 4th. And they're going to go for it on 4th down.
5 seconds!
Heard that play clock was rapidly ticking down. Browder stands in the pocket. Goes deep. Off the hands of Jones.
Perfect hole. It should have been caught by Tyrone. He's been spending way too much time at barber school.
Well, he dropped out of barber school to coach his son's 8- and 9-year-old team in Georgia, East Cobb Vikings.
Look at the perfect throw by Nick Browder over the top. He actually does cut the hair of some of his teammates, and Nick Browder would much prefer that he catch the ball.
So, a big stop by the New Orleans Voodoo defense. They'll take over when we return to Philadelphia.
The Baby Ruth, the real deal, has crunchy, whole roasted peanuts. The real deal has chewy nougat. The real deal has rich, creamy caramel. Because whether you're the man in the middle, the guy between the pipes, or a great tasting candy bar, being the real deal is about what's on the inside. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
For years, internet providers have charged the same high prices, even as technology costs go down. Ready for something new? With People PC Online, you get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month, plus a smart dialer that automatically chooses the fastest, most reliable access number, so you always get the best connection. To compare us free for 30 days, visit peoplepc.com for a quick 3-minute download, or call 1-800-PEOPLE-PC. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal. By Helzberg Diamonds, confidence comes in a burgundy box. And by People PC Online, unlimited internet access at a great price. Philadelphia leading New Orleans 7-6, but the Voodoo just had a defensive stop. That's 2 stops per side now.
Generally, if you can stop a team in this league 3 or 4 times, I mean, that's a big defensive game. And so the Voodoo have already stopped the Soul twice in this ballgame.
We have 10 minutes to go till halftime. Thrown away that time by Fitzgerald.
Supposed to be a screen to our favorite guy, Tim Martin, number 86. He's done just about everything thus far.
Well, we saw him on special teams covering the kickoff. Then we saw him put pressure on Browder, the Philadelphia quarterback, and now we're seeing him as the intended receiver of the screen pass. That's a pretty good illustration of how versatile you must be to play this indoor game.
And you have to be in incredible shape. You saw him raise his hand there, which means he's the tight end.
Neal was the motion man, the pass.
Catch.
Yeah, despite the hit from Travis Seaton. A gain of 6 to Tremaine Neal.
Nickname is the Tree. He's a big guy, 6'3", 215 pounds is Tremaine. And boy, that's catching the ball in traffic. Quarterback's throwing the ball in traffic and receiver catching the ball because he was very well covered by Seaton.
Good soft hands. Didn't catch it initially, but was able to gather it in despite the hit. And the ball now just at the 6-yard line of the Philadelphia Soul.
You know, in this league, it's a little bit perverse. I think it's much easier to score from the 15-yard line than it is in this area because the field just gets so tight.
Third down play, the pass deflected and incomplete.
There's Eric Golston, number 75. Again, who's really a center, but playing nose tackle. Big center from Ohio State, all Big Ten center.
Was on a Rose Bowl championship team.
Yeah.
And, normally it's your defensive player having to learn offense. In his case, the opposite, huh?
They do that in this league with the centers primarily. The coaches want a guy who's handled the ball before, and Eric Golston played some center in college and has done a very good job at center in his AFL career.
Fourth down, so Schmitz, who missed earlier an extra point and a 25-yard field goal, tries this one from 21 yards and misses again.
It's live. This is live.
Flag is down. This is Jones trying to squirm free, and another flag, and another flag. Anybody have one left?
Unanimous. 5 officials in the indoor game versus 7 in the outdoor game. But I think we saw 5 flags, Tom.
The umpire, Paul King, was scheduled to be here today. Broke his wrist, is not here.
Throwing flags?
Well, the guys that just threw those will definitely be in sling. No, Paul broke his wrist shoveling snow. But there's a message there somewhere. Well, Schmitz is having a tough day.
Well, you know, for kickers, it is. We talked about the uprights. The only being 9 feet apart. The outdoor game, they're 18.5 feet apart. So they're about half as accurate indoors as they are outdoors. I think it's like they almost convert 80% of field goal attempts in the outdoor game, and it's 43% indoors.
Fouls on the play during the kick. Kick catch interference on the kicking team, number 5. By rule, that penalty will be declined. On the return, personal foul, face mask on the kicking team, number 77. That penalty will be enforced. It's a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run from the 5-yard line.
Good explanation there from Pat Garvey. And another stop. We've got a defensive battle taking part here. 7-6 game.
I was cooking dinner and I just fell asleep. I tried to get out, but I collapsed. I couldn't call for help. But ADT did. They saved my life.
An ADT monitored fire detector actually signals ADT, so we can call for help. Call now and you may qualify to get an ADT system installed for $0 down. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP today.
I've always done my own wash in college, when I was playing football. Shoot, even during and after my divorces, I always did my wash. You know what? My mama back in Louisiana, she uses a washboard. Hey, how about that wash and dry from Aaron's? Sure does make it easy, though, doesn't it? Ain't these a dandy?
Aaron's makes washer-dryer shopping easy with top-name brands, the guaranteed lowest prices, and everyone's pre-approved.
Fluffy-wuffy PJs. They get the delicate cycle.
Observe the panicked look of the last-minute shopper. Fortunately, Helzberg Diamond's value promise ensures the perfect gift at the perfect price. Panic button off. Helzberg Diamonds. Confidence comes in a burgundy box.
We'll have 2 cheeseburgers.
We shut down the grill. You can order from our late-night menu.
What's on it?
Nothing I'd eat.
Hungry and it's late? Come to Wendy's pickup window for something fresh and eat great, even late.
Hey, if you're going to Wendy's, bring me back a Frosty.
There's nothing more American than the Daytona 500. The Nextel Tribute to America kicks off the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Next Sunday, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, NBC.
Back in Philadelphia, common sight to see a lot of kids in the stands. It's pretty family-friendly entertainment. Ticket prices not going to break the bank for you like some of the pro sports franchises.
Surprised at the low scoring, Tom, though. It's only 7-6 here with 7:38 remaining in the first half. Ordinarily, you know, maybe when these teams get in rhythm 3 or 4 games into the season, you know, they put up 30, 40 points by now.
Well, the hit as he releases downfield and too long. Incomplete again, intended for Jones.
Just the anticipation that Nick Browder needs to develop. I mean, he has the physical gifts. He's 6'3", he's 220 pounds, he's plenty strong enough, plenty smart enough, but he just got to get rid of this ball a little bit earlier with a little bit more air.
Well, after lessons like that, he may soon catch on to that. Each team has had 1 touchdown in 3 possessions, and the difference a missed extra point by New Orleans. Brian Schmitz has also missed 2 field goal attempts. Nick Browder started out 6 of his first 7, but he missed 4 in a row. That one, the laser shot to Jones. He'll be wrestled down short of midfield. Monty Montgomery was the first to get there.
Darren Graham, number 81, who was the man in motion at that time. Just, you know, a lot of reading routes by the receivers on the run. I mean, you might call something deep in the huddle, but as soon as you see the defensive back off, you just kind of stop. And if your quarterback sees the same thing, you have a completion like that.
There's Graham who made that catch. It's 3rd down and 1.
I see a Soul Train. Fullback gets the ball here.
Big Chris Ryan, number 36. And he does. All he had to do was just sort of fall forward, and he'd have the first down. Chris Ryan with a first down run.
He needed a big man, 6 feet tall, 315 pounds. Looked at, he was eating how many cookies when we saw him? I think he had a whole
claimed he only ate 3, but
a whole handful of cookies, and he says he's lobbying for a job as John Bon Jovi's bodyguard. That's what he'd like to do in the off seasons. You know, these guys all have interesting jobs in the off season. A lot of them substitute teachers in schools, as Nick Browder was. Quarterback.
Browder pumps once, chased from the pocket. Little touch pass for the end zone. To Jones.
a new thing for Tyrone Jones. He caught 20 touchdowns a year ago and 2 today.
He beat Calvin Spears for 23 yards. And now Ken Hensley for the extra point. High snap, but through the uprights. Nice hold by the backup quarterback Todd Hamill.
The offensive specialist, really a good read, good play by Browder as he just kind of lobbed this one up at the top. And you really have to lob it right over the defender's head and before that back wall. Every arena has a little bit different configuration in the end zone. I think it's tougher when they have a back wall, and John Bon Jovi is a very happy owner.
Living with genital herpes can be a hassle. Each outbreak felt like it took days out of my life. So I talked to my doctor and found out about Valtrex. Just 1 pill a day helps reduce the number of outbreaks. In fact, I've been outbreak-free for almost a year.
It's a brand new day. In a 1-year clinical study among people with genital herpes who took Valtrex, at 6 months, over half were outbreak-free. After 1 year, a third were outbreak-free.
I don't want to lose my days. I want to spend them how I want to.
It's a brand new day. There is no cure for herpes. Even with treatment, it may be possible to spread herpes. Valtrex may not prevent all recurrences. To avoid a potentially serious complication, tell your doctor if your immune system is not normal because of bone marrow or kidney transplant or advanced HIV disease. Common side effects are headache, nausea, and abdominal pain.
Ask your doctor if daily Valtrex is right for you. My days are mine, and that's the way it should be.
It's a brand new day.
Round-the-clock claim service in case this happens in a car. Geico. A 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Accidents can happen anytime. That's why Geico's here 24 hours a day, every day. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
NBC Monday, Jean-Claude Van Damme guest stars on a hot, all-new Las Vegas.
Ow! Scary, huh? Good.
Jean-Claude, as himself, is shooting a movie in the casino and does something he's never done before. He dies. The hottest place to be Monday is Las Vegas on NBC.
14-6, Philadelphia leads New Orleans. The owners of these two expansion franchises have gotten as much publicity as their teams. Craig Spencer and John Bon Jovi, Philadelphia. And, of course, Tom Benson, who owns the New Orleans Saints, is the owner of the Voodoo. Hensley's kickoff. Hits the slack net and into the stands for the touchback. And now let's take a look at our Baby Ruth 2003 Offensive Player of the Year, as we honor Chris Jackson of the Los Angeles Avengers.
You know, what an unbelievable year he had. Tom, 117 receptions, caught 46 touchdowns on the year. Absolutely incredible. Over 1,700 yards, did just about everything for the Avengers.
Including drive the bus there. Each week we'll bring you the Baby Ruth Offensive Player of the Week, and we invite you to stay tuned for next week's winner. Bailey, incomplete, juggling the ball.
He's injured. That'll be a tough loss for New Orleans because he and John Fitzgerald have a kind of a special deal with one another. They have the great communication between those two. They were talking about it. They might just kind of wink at one another and understand what the other guy wants.
And you mentioned it briefly earlier that Aaron's dad passed away a couple of days before Christmas. And he had called his dad after every game, talked to him before every game since Pop Warner. And he said it just hit him Friday night that for the first time in his life, his dad wouldn't be there before a game. And his dad passed away just before Christmas. And so Aaron playing with a heavy heart without his dad, A.D. We'll be back.
We used to get heartburn all the time, but now that new Prilosec OTC is here.
We're going to spread the word.
Yes, indeedy. Hey, you okay?
heartburn the third day this week.
Start taking this tomorrow and things can change.
Prilosec OTC.
One pill a day can relieve frequent heartburn for 24 hours.
I could have zero heartburn.
And it starts working the very first day.
Prilosec OTC.
One pill a day,
24 hours,
zero heartburn.
For years, internet providers have charged the same high prices, even as technology costs go down. Ready for something new? With People PC Online, you get unlimited internet access for only $10.95 a month. Plus a smart dialer that automatically chooses the fastest, most reliable access number, so you always get the best connection. To compare us free for 30 days, visit peoplepc.com for a quick 3-minute download, or call 1-800-PEOPLE-PC. People PC Online, a better way to internet.
NBC next Sunday. It's the premiere of Shrek on NBC.
Come on!
Plus, an all-new preview of Shrek 2. Wow! Shrek, NBC next Sunday.
Next week, Canada becomes Conanada.
Because I speak half the languages there.
With Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, and Adam Sandler. Conan in Toronto, NBC next week.
Aaron Bailey shaken up in the last play, but remaining on the field. There he is in the formation, wide to the left of the formation on a 2nd down and 10 for New Orleans from their own 5-yard line. They trail 14-6, just under 4 minutes to go till halftime. And quarterback John Fitzgerald has hit 7 of 17 so far for 73 yards. Browder, his Philadelphia counterpart, 8 of 13 and a couple of touchdowns. Fitzgerald's pass dropped at the 15-yard line. Lamont Moore could not hold on. Joseph Todd hit him.
Let's go back and look at the shot that Aaron Bailey took but recovered from. Just a little hitch route was off his hands, and then the defender kind of hits him right in the chin. And was down on the field for a good 3 or 4 minutes, but bounced up right back to playing. Their outstanding offensive specialist. Last 3 years, he's caught 167 catches, and very good after the catch.
Here's another big 3rd down play for New Orleans. Fitzgerald going down the sideline. That looked like interference, and the flag does fly. Interference call is the pass down the sideline for Anthony Collins, and interference called on Keita Crespina of Philadelphia.
Keita Crespina last year with Tampa Bay, part of their championship year. Actually, he's made a couple of very good plays in the first half.
Pass interference, defense, number 2. That's a 10-yard penalty. Automatic, first down.
You know, this is not a bad play by Crespina because he doesn't interfere. It's a touch. So a smart play, I would say, by Keita Crespina.
Fitzgerald had the flag out early.
Yeah.
Anthony Collins, his receiver, a rookie from Morgan State University. There's Crespina.
Crespina scored 3 different ways last year at Tampa. On offense, turned to fumble, turned to interception.
Draw play. And then Curran is blasted against the boards after picking up 13 yards. He scored the New Orleans touchdown earlier. Travis Seaton with the tackle. Modell's is your arena football headquarters. Go to Modell's for the best selection of official AFL merchandise and apparel, including jerseys, t-shirts, hats, footballs, and more. Got to go to Moe's.
Got to go to Moe's.
On the sideboard there.
Good,
Moe's got a big banner there. First down to New Orleans. Fitzgerald throws it in the flat to Collins.
Drilled that one, did he?
Collins had to catch it. Self-defense.
Absolutely. Nothing left to do. And Mike New, the head coach, on the field, as you're allowed, he's going to bring his quarterback over and call the play.
Right X-ray, 28 toss.
28 toss, one of those rare running plays, right?
Let's go right X-ray, X back, 28 toss on one-on-one, ready?
So he had toss to his fullback. Seeing more runs than we're accustomed to seeing, Tom.
Yeah, well, more stops too. There's Curran trying to use his blockers, and he does pretty well. And pushing his way close to the 15-yard line. C.J. McClain with the Philadelphia tackle. It's going to bring up a 3rd down play again for the Voodoo. Love the Voodoo's logo too. You see that?
They're bowling on the backside. They're bowling on the backside. Be sure to stop by U.S. Army Arena. Bowling on the backside. Bull running on the backside and all.
And before we we get that play call in, we will take a break. We're at the 1 minute warning. 1 minute. A lot of scoring can take place in that final minute. We'll see if it does here in Philly.
Here in my car, I'm for safest of all. I can lock all my doors. It's the only way to live in cars.
I will not be afraid of the dark.
I will not feel guilty leaving my dog alone.
I will know my children are safe.
I will finally be able to relax!
A single ADT system can help protect your home and family from burglary, fire, and carbon monoxide. Call now and you may qualify to get an ADT system installed for $0 down, plus save up to 20% on your homeowner's insurance. Call 1-800-ADT-ASAP. ADT, always there.
I'm here for my massage. These big muscles need some tenderizing.
Okay, cutie, room 5.
Ooh. Bud Light.
You're here for the body treatment?
Oh, yeah. My body, your treatment.
Okay. Let's go.
Oh, yeah.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
Is there a breeze in here?
It's all here.
Coming up on the Wendy's AFL on NBC halftime report, a conversation with the 3-time Super Bowl champion head coach Joe Gibbs. After an 11-year absence where he established himself as a NASCAR team owner, Gibbs has gone back to the drawing board, ready to remake himself as an NFL coach again. Marty Snyder will talk football with him, plus we'll get a word with the pole sitter for next weekend's Daytona 500. All on the Wendy's AFL on NBC halftime report. Now back to Tom and Pat in Philadelphia.
1 minute to go in the first half from Philadelphia. Philadelphia leading 14-6. And New Orleans with the ball just short of the 15-yard line of the Philadelphia Soul. It's 3rd down and 3. Offside. Free play is Bailey scooting down the sideline. Another flag. This is the late, and we've got 3 flags down again.
Yeah.
We've equaled our record.
Yeah, way too many flags for the first game. You know, John Bon Jovi's done such a good job here, Tom, in Philadelphia, getting the city excited about this team. And this is, you know, he's a football guy. He loves football. Grew up in Jersey, grew up a Giants fan. Probably heard some of the Eagle fans here in town, but really has done a great job of getting this franchise off the ground.
Such good promotion. And Michael Trigg, the coach of his team, the Philadelphia Soul, saying it's a little different deal when John Bon Jovi.
Offside, defense, number 44. Holding, offense, number 19. Those penalties will offset. Replay, 3rd down.
Michael Trigg was saying when John Bon Jovi is your owner, it's a little different deal because you have girls bringing their boyfriends to the game.
53 wide read on 2-on-2. Ready?
53 wide read. That's a 5-step drop. And his Y is Aaron Bailey. And he has what is called a read route. He can break either inside or outside. 5-step drop. The future receiver should be the guy in motion right now.
Fitzgerald for Bailey. Touchdown.
Boy, that is just so hard to cover when he has that option. And Keita Crespita has to cover him all over the field. When you're playing their defensive back, it's like, you know, it's such a tough thing. Playing that defensive backfield, it's like, you know, being a...
When the guy gets a head start coming right at you.
It's like getting tossed to a pit bull with a greasy pork chop around your throat, you know? You just can't cover it against.
It's a beautiful image. Let's see if Schmitz can hit the extra point. And it is, well, off the iron, but through.
The option route here, as we said, to Aaron Bailey. What a tough guy. Just, you know, took a shot just a few moments ago. Gets the ball in the end zone, and Crespina just had a guess. He can't believe it either. John, you got to try playing defensive back. It's tough.
43.7 seconds left now. New Orleans will get the ball to start the second half.
Well, you know, we haven't seen an onside kick yet, but in this league, there are an awful lot of onside kicks. You know, last year there were 152, believe it or not, onside kick attempts.
Schmitz must feel a giant weight off his shoulders, too, after missing 2 field goals and an extra point. He booted that one through.
Well, you know,
there's the onside kick stats.
It's amazing. It's about the recovery rate. You see 17%, which is about twice the outside game where they recover about 10% of onside kicks. Remember, what they're trying to do is get back-to-back possessions. New Orleans will get the ball to open the second half. So with 43.7 seconds, you're going to see a lot of strategy here by both of these coaches. Either slowing the game down or letting somebody score, maybe intentionally.
Schmitz into the, no, it wasn't into the stand. Well, yes, it was. Ruled out of bounds. It'll be a touchback to the 5-yard line. The Soul president, Ron Jaworski, had ties to Philadelphia's other pro football team. As a former Eagles quarterback, Jaworski led Philadelphia to their only Super Bowl appearance in 1981. In his 10 years with the Eagles, he started 116 straight games, an NFL record that wasn't broken until 1999 by Brett Favre. Jaworski passed for nearly 27,000 yards, 175 touchdowns, both of which are Eagle records, and the all-time Eagles leader many other passing categories. So instant credibility for this franchise with Ron Jaws.
I was absolutely
as their president.
Absolutely lucky to play 1 year with the Rams. My rookie year with Ron Jaworski. He's a fabulous guy. Was a great player, not a good player, but a great player with the Eagles. 32 concussions he had, Tom.
Flag down on this completion to the 15-yard line.
You know, Ron is 52 years old, going on 22. I mean, he is always enthusiastic. He's got the metabolism of a hummingbird. He's always kind of moving around, but been married to his wife Liz, 29 years, 3 great kids, and he has really rallied this community around the Soul. He's been trying to get an AFL franchise here for about 10 years. They're starting 116 straight games.
Wow,
and it's just unbelievable. He played with broken hands and fingers and shoulders, and good guy, Ron Jaworski. And does he love football? Man, he's perfect for this city.
He was bragging, not bragging, but
he does a lot of that.
Commenting about the reception from Philadelphia. Not only are they sold out, but there are people calling, hundreds of callers in the last few days, still trying to get tickets. Short drop and a quick delivery by Nick Browder. It's good to Graham, who's tackled by Lamont Moore, and we're down to 24.7 seconds in the first half.
Listen, still Pogo White Cross.
Pogo White Cross. Pogo is a post corner route.
Back. 50. Pogo White Cross on Tuesday.
Yeah, Y is the cross. That's Tyrone Jones will run the cross. Number 6, and we have a pogo route here, post corner.
Pass into the stands, incomplete.
Well, the guy in the next row is upset because it ended up in the player's box.
It didn't quite make it to the fans.
Because you get to keep those balls. Mike Trigg.
All right, we can get a first. Let's just get a first down right now and take our shots.
There you go.
Trigg is won the Arena Bowl when he was the coach at Grand Rapids.
90, wide corner.
One as a player as well.
Come on, DG.
Quarterback in Detroit.
And has many of his former players gathered around him here in this expansion franchise in Philadelphia.
Called Y Corner.
Go!
And that is again to Tyrone Jones. And got the first of Ricky Ross.
Ross with a first down across the midfield stripe, which is the 25.
You know, we've seen teams score with, what, less than a second.
Oh, yeah.
So with 16.7 seconds, I mean, you really don't, it sounds ridiculous. You just don't want to score too quickly.
Well, we heard
Trigg. Let's go bunch. Z-cross double corner.
We heard Trigg say just before that last play, let's get the first down, then take our shots. So here comes one of the shots.
Right, Y inside. 50. Z-cross double corner. Hold on, ready? Watch the clock. Play clock. Play clock.
Obviously, 50 is a 5-step drop. He's got 2 of his 3 receivers running corner routes.
Go!
Pass completed again to Ross. Browder and Ross hooking up here 3 consecutive times as Jaworski approves. Chris Pointer got him out of bounds, stops the clock at 12.4.
We got an injured Soul player down. It's Dwayne Sabb.
He's all right.
Well, 12.4 seconds left, and coming up, the Wendy's halftime report. News, scores, highlights from around the league, plus NASCAR owner Joe Gibbs talks about his return to football, and a special interview with the Daytona 500 pole sitter Greg Biffle, winning the mud pole qualifying earlier today.
I'm interested to see what's going on. Arizona is playing the Avengers, and boy, the Avengers have had a great team last year, but Arizona, the Rattlers, have had their number for the last 2 or 3 years. Danny White, one of the legendary players in college, NFL, and now as a coach in the AFL, coach of the Rattlers. Last year, Danny White had a game where he called 6 onside kicks in one game. He's very unconventional, fun to watch. Wayne Saab walking a little gingerly to the sideline. We're ready to go. 14-13 here in the closing seconds. Here we go. Of the first half, Philadelphia leading New Orleans, 2 expansion teams. Routers hit 6 of his last 7 passes after missing 4 in a row. He has a second down and a yard here. Router to the end zone. Great play. Picked off. No, incomplete. Well, it would have been picked up, except the end zones, when you hit those boards, that's out of bounds. But Monty Montgomery, boy, what an impression he has made in his debut as a defensive specialist. That's a great play. It's not bragging if you back it up. Absolutely. He said to us yesterday, I hope they test me. And you're going to get tested when you play that defensive specialist position. Now, he did catch that ball, but in the end zone, unlike the regular field, if you hit that sideboard, it is out of bounds. Now they have said, Pat, it's an interception. So it would be that they see the reaction of Michael Trigg. Did he get his foot down? Can't see from that angle. Well, you know, I always think that those boards in the end zones are out, but they called it an interception. What if he got his foot down before hitting the board? It would be good, right? Yeah, and it was an excellent play by Montgomery, who's made 2 or 3 of them. Nice. Over the head of Lamont Moore and into the stands as Moore was bent over the boards by Travis Seaton. Nearly flipped into the stands. Penalty flag came down early. Offsides penalties. Indicative of the first game without a whole lot of preseason. Yeah. You know, it's amazing these players can stay healthy for a whole year, Tom. You know, you see so many injuries in football, but think about what these guys go through: a long season, all those practices, playing both ways, playing special teams, hitting the boards like he just did. They are in incredible shape and great athletes. Offside, 3.7 seconds left. Plenty of time in this league to score, right, Tom? You wing it for the end zone? Oh, absolutely. You had a couple shots at it. Now, you see a zone defense by the Soul, which you don't see much. 3 defensive backs very, very deep. Here's Fitzgerald. Crossing pattern as the horn sounds to Bailey. And he is stopped short of the end zone as the first half comes to a close. Seaton and Ross were the men who made the stop to prevent a touchdown on the final play of the first half. Now it's time for the Wendy's halftime report, so let's go to Al Troutwig at our AFL at NBC studio in New York.
This is the Wendy's AFL on NBC halftime report.
And welcome back to 30 Rock. This is where to get your Sunday football fix, except next weekend when, because of the little race going on down in Florida, we're going to be on Saturday. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig along with Glenn Parker. And some oddities in this opening day. For a while there today, there were half of the touchdowns. I'm having a little problem here.
That's okay. Started. I'm with you.
Half of the touchdowns came on the run. It evened out a little bit before the halves ended in these 5 games we're watching today.
Yeah,
it was weird.
We're getting back towards where there's more pass than run, but we did see at one point half of those were rushing touchdowns. It is strange, but I think teams are at the start of this year are trying to get their feet underneath them.
Let's go to Philadelphia, where the Soul actually have a target. You know, the Target store bullseye on the front of their jersey. That can't be good. John Bon Jovi, the owner, hanging out with Bill Belichick, who's got a pretty good job himself.
Yeah, you know, you take a look here with the very first touchdown ever in their entire history goes to Tyrone Jones, offensive specialist, and he actually gets two, the first two. I think John's kind of happy, isn't he?
It's something to write a song about right now. 14-13, Philadelphia leading by a point. First ever game for both teams. Let's talk about some numbers here.
Well, Aaron Bailey, he was a great pickup for the Voodoo. You see his yards, his receptions. Already got a touchdown. He's going to do very well, whoever picks him in their fantasy team.
Second game on our NBC menu this afternoon. We'll be talking about the LA Avengers and the Arizona Rattlers, a rematch of last year's playoff, which went to Arizona.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, you got to love the way the Avengers attack. You cannot come up and play press coverage. It's very hard because you're going to miss the guy. There's so many weapons on that LA team. Just when you think you got one guy covered, another guy pops out.
Meanwhile, Arizona's lost 4 points, 2 missed extra points, so they went for the 2-point conversion. They didn't get that either. So it's 28-18 for the Avengers. Yeah, you know, Graziani's stats are already, he's got 121 yards, but the big one, 4 touchdowns already at the half. He's on pace to tie himself from last year when he had 8. Let's update the next game. It's the New York Dragons taking on the Georgia Force. Aaron Garcia, one of the most prolific passers in the league, didn't get his first touchdown pass till there were 12 seconds left in the half. 2014 New York, figure it out.
Well, I'll tell you, just taking their first 2 scores and getting them on the ground. Here we go right now with Chicago and Grand Rapids.
They like their new quarterback, Ray Filial, 36-20, halftime in the Windy City. And one final game to talk about, the defending AFL champions Tampa Bay Storm with the Orlando Predators. And right now it looks like the defending champions, even though they have changed quarterbacks, looks exactly the same.
Lost 7 starters, have come on strong. They play great defense. Markham knows how to run a team.
If you at home want to play along with Glenn Parker, you can. Go to AFLFantasy.com and pick out your fantasy team. You did yours.
I did. I went with Aaron Garcia as my quarterback. I think this guy can really get it done. Of course, you got to have some offensive weapons in this league, and I had to have Aaron Bailey. Kevin Ingram is fantastic, as is Bonner, and you got to have some defense. That's why I took Ricky Parker from Arizona.
They'll tell you how to play. Just simply go to AFL.com. Much more halftime to come here on NBC as we check out the AFL across America.
Hey guys, meet the new guy.
Hi, I'm Bob Holtkamp.
Hey, help yourself to some snacks.
Speaking of which, you know what would taste good about now?
Yeah, a big, hot and juicy cheeseburger.
With everything. I can almost taste it. Telling me, if there were a place to get a hamburger that good this late, I'd not only drive, I'd buy.
Really?
Wendy's classic hamburgers are made fresh, so they're always hot and juicy, so you can eat great even late.
You must be the new guy.
Yeah, thanks.
Wendy's, it's better here.
What's better than fantasy football? AFL fantasy football. More touchdowns, more yards, more excitement. Free salary cap football. Win cash prizes. AFLFantasy.com, powered by Sandbox Plus. Log on for registration and rules. Play AFL Fantasy Football.
It's the Wendy's AFL on NBC halftime report. Hi, everybody. I'm Al Troutwig along with Glenn Parker. Hey, Glenn, 19 teams, players moving all over the place. How many changes would you say there have been?
There have been too many to count. I am completely overwhelmed by it all.
Let's deal with that, shall we?
All right,
one situation at a time. We pick out some of the top teams in the league and the stories that you need to know to get things started this season.
All right, well, let's start with the Los Angeles Avengers. Pretty much everyone's pick is the best team in the league. They have the best offense. Tony Graziani puts up the numbers, moves them up and down the field. But they addressed a glaring weakness, and that is they stole Al Lucas away from Tampa Bay for the middle of that defense.
Across the country to the Orlando Predators. The death of their head coach, Fran Papasadero, and a bad ankle make Jay Gruden a head coach again. That's fine. He knows how to do that. Question is, can he help their new quarterback, Joey Hamilton, learn?
Well, New York Dragons, Todd Shell led them out of the basement last year to a playoff berth. He's got an entire year of clean slate, and he has Aaron Garcia, one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Question is, who is Aaron Garcia going to throw the ball to?
Back to another California powerhouse, the San Jose SaberCats. The guys who set league records last year for touchdowns and points, they're all back. Enough said.
Tampa Bay Storm, you cannot count out any Tim Markham coach team. He's done it too many times. He has lost 7 starters off that Arena Bowl champion team of a year ago. Now it's a matter, can he replace them and get them back to where they want to be?
All right. Hey, Glenn, it says here we're switching gears, and we really are. The qualifying for the Daytona 500 took place earlier today. For more on that, let's go down there to Bill Weber.
Thanks, Al. 45 drivers had the opportunity to win the pole for the Daytona 500 when qualifying was completed. 34-year-old Greg Biffle had won his first career pole at the same track where he won his first career race last July. So Biffle will lead the field to the green flag in the 46th running of the Daytona 500 next Sunday right here on NBC. In that race, you'll see Bobby Labonte and Tony Stewart. Both drivers won a series championship for Joe Gibbs Racing, but now one thing is missing from Joe Gibbs Racing: Joe Gibbs. The coach has returned to the NFL to try and drive the Washington Redskins back to victory lane. Gibbs has been in that race before, winning 3 Super Bowls. He knows it's a tough track, but as Marty Snotter reports, Gibbs had to climb into the driver's seat one more time.
To me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
How much has the game changed since you left the game? Is it a dramatically different game?
I think it's been dramatic as far as what's happened as far as X's and O's and the way the league is run, salary cap and all that. It's been dramatic. Hopefully what's not changed a lot is players, relationships, how you deal with them, how you relate to players. I'm counting on that part of it being the same.
Is there a piece of you that fears that this may not work out like it did last time, that you maybe can't go home again and be successful?
I definitely think I went into this saying the odds are against it. You can't go back and recreate something like that. Certainly, there's nothing safe about this. There's no safety net. You're going to be in front of millions of people, and you're either going to win or lose. We're operating without the net. There's nothing down there.
Just don't look down, okay? Just keep looking forward.
I'm going to stay up here because when I look down there, I get afraid.
But there's not much time for Coach Gibbs to look down and worry. He's back to his old habits, watching film, working long hours, diagramming plays, and restarting old rivalries.
So this is from Bill Parcells. What is this?
It's actually kind of comical. The whole time we're going against each other. When he was at the Giants and I was here, it was just bloodbath. When he stepped out of coaching, we played golf and got to have some fun. And then he sent this, does this mean that we can't talk for another 5 years? Definitely. You know, we're now going to try and cost each other our jobs.
Joe Gibbs Racing won the Daytona 500 in 1993 with driver Dale Jarrett. Now Joe's son J.D. Gibbs will call the plays for the racing operation, knowing that if he ever faces that critical third and long situation, he can always turn to the coach for advice. We'll see you next Sunday live right here on NBC for the 46th running of the Daytona 500. Right now, back to Al and the gang in New York.
Wow, coaching is a major story now in the NFC East.
Yeah, it's a throwback to the 80s.
How come we don't have hair? Meanwhile, next Sunday, right here on NBC, it's flag-to-flag and wire-to-wire coverage of the Daytona 500, the great American race. Next Sunday at noon here on NBC. This is the AFL on NBC.
This has been the Wendy's AFL on NBC Halftime Report.
There are only 6 new episodes of Friends left, and this Thursday brings an unforgettable Friends event.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
You're invited to Phoebe's wedding. Then, on an all-new Apprentice, the teams compete in a celebrity auction. So, while the boardroom backstabbing surprises even Trump.
You were rude. You are rude.
Going once, going twice.
You're fired.
Plus, an all-new ER Thursday.
We at Raymore & Flanagan Furniture have always been driven by providing great customer service, but we're also driven by being active in the community. We're proud of our partnership with NBC 10's Homework Helpline. If your child's struggling with his or her homework, Homework Helpline could provide the guidance your child needs to achieve good grades. Homework Helpline is a free call-in service available during the school year. At Raymore & Flanagan, we realize that education is truly the key to success.
How does Toyota's President's Week sales event compare to past presidents? Well, George Washington was father of our country, and the Toyota 4Runner is king of off-road. President Abraham Lincoln was one great speaker. The sound system on Highlander has 8 great speakers. Teddy Roosevelt said, speak softly and carry a big stick. But nothing speaks louder than the great deals on all 5 Toyota SUVs, like RAV4, Highlander, and 4Runner. So see your Toyota dealer. with 5 SUVs at Toyota's President's Week event. Which Toyota is perfect for you?
The new GMC Envoy XUV. Multifunctional, adaptable, retractable. The revolutionary Envoy XUV. There's more utility with more utility. Only at your GMC dealer. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
Tuesday at 11. The NBC 10 investigators take you inside a business some may not want you to know about. Horses sold for slaughter right in our own backyard.
Camp horses go, children's ponies.
And what happens next will leave you stunned.
That should be against the law. It's not right.
Slaughter is absolutely necessary. The ultimate betrayal.
Some say that the slaughter is inhumane.
Oh, whoever tells you that, it's full of...
An NBC 10 special investigation. Tuesday at 11.
The Earthlight 7-day forecast only on NBC 10 News.
Halftime in Philadelphia, 2 new AFL teams, Philadelphia and New Orleans, playing on even terms. It's a 1-point game. The Soul leading the Voodoo. Everything else is all even, too. The yardage gained is even, 133 yards each, and 2 touchdowns each, and maybe most importantly, 3 stops each.
Yeah, that's the surprising thing. Usually your goal for the game is to have 3, maybe 4 stops. Each team has 3 of those in the first half. So, you know, believe me, there'll be a lot more scores in the second half. The 1-point differential can be overcome in this league.
Well, Michael Trigg addressed his Philadelphia Soul team at halftime a few moments ago, and we listened in. Let's see what he said to his Philadelphia Soul players.
When you have people on third down and you have them way down in their territory, please make them earn everything that they get. DBs, please understand something. If we have them pinned way down and they're going for the home run ball, make them play catch and earn it. I don't care if they complete the play. That's good football. We make them make the play. Do not give them the play. You have them pinned down earlier in that, and we jump offside on the thing. 3rd and 10. And they're not going to complete the ball. Long field goals are the killer. That's why you don't do it. We went for it when it was in that situation. We had 2 chances to make a play, and we came up short. That's the way it goes sometimes. We're going to roll the dice and do the same thing again.
And that was a few moments ago. Michael Trigg at halftime talking to his team. The veteran coach of the Philadelphia Soul, who has spent 16 years in this league as a player and coach. Won an Arena Bowl championship and is one of the winningest AFL coaches ever.
Yeah, he led the league actually in passing. He was a quarterback for the Detroit Drive in the late 90s. Won an Arena Bowl championship. Then he was also coached by Tim Markham, one of the great legends in coaching in arena football, now with the Tampa Bay team.
Who is the winningest of all time. Here's the second half kickoff into the front row, but it bounced off the board and not the net. So that will be a penalty.
We got a bounce on the kicking team. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line.
Kick it out of bounds. It comes out to the 20 as we check in with Lewis.
All right, Tom. Well, Voodoo head coach Mike New was talking about the 3 missed opportunities in the red zone. But we all have to remember something he said. With only 1 month of team practice, you know, New was really pleased with the fact there were no big mistakes, no turnovers, not bad eliminating penalties. Now he wants his team to settle down and try and score when they get in the red zone. That's really the biggest goal here. Happy with the defense, but score now in the red zone. Tom?
All right, Lewis, and if Mike Trigg is a veteran coach, Mike New is the youngest, 33 years old, the head coach of New Orleans. And his quarterback Fitzgerald finds Aaron Bailey for a nice gain on the first play of the second half. Joseph Todd makes the tackle, but not until Bailey picked up a first down on that strike from John Fitzgerald.
Yeah, you know, you see, you get a little bit of protection up front. He's able to step into the throw and just drill it to his offensive specialist. I'm just thinking about Mike New. We talked to him yesterday. He said, I never thought about getting into coaching. He says, now, you know, I've been bitten by the bug. He says, I can't imagine doing anything else. Youngest of 8 children.
And the youngest coach in the league. That was a 16-yard gain for his team on first down as Bailey circles in motion. And Fitzgerald drills it on the corner. That was complete. It's to Tremaine Neal, and Travis Seaton stops him after a gain of 4 or 5 yards.
John Fitzgerald sure has a strong arm.
Doesn't
he can really drill it. You see the quarterback comparison in the first half. Fitzgerald only 11 of 22.
Well, then, Tulsa, Fitzgerald passed for nearly 6,000 yards, 5,822 yards.
Golden Hurricanes followed Gus Frerotte there at Tulsa.
Number 2 all time. One pump from Fitzgerald. Threw it into the corner of the end zone for Lamont Moore, and it's incomplete.
See, the receivers have to worry about those sideboards and the end zone board. It looked like Lamont Moore pulled up just a little bit because he was going to go right into that sideboard.
Fitzgerald getting the play call. Fitzgerald used to teach math. He has an applied math degree from Tulsa.
Why read on 2 ready?
He's taught math and would like to eventually coach from Seminole, Oklahoma High School.
One of those why read passes by Aaron Bailey. You know, he was saying to us yesterday about being a teacher, what a noble profession it is, and he said, you know, he just got a letter from a former student recently who was trying to have him write a letter of recommendation for him.
Encroachment, defense, number 75. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
And he wanted to write a recommendation about what a strong student he was at mathematics. The student was trying to get into the Coast Guard Academy. John Fitzgerald was a applied mathematics major, and Tim Martin went to Tulsa with him. He was an engineering major. We did twosome in the classroom.
Tim said the first class they had together was pre-calculus, and he couldn't figure out why John Fitzgerald never went to class that much. He didn't know that Fitzgerald already passed regular calculus, much less pre-calculus. He said, well, I don't need to go either. I'm as smart as John. John ended up getting a B, and Tim wouldn't tell us what he got. Another play stopped by a penalty flag.
You know, John Fitzgerald grew up a Joe Montana and John Elway fan, and trying to carry the ball a little bit like Elway did right there.
Prior to the snap, full start, offense number 34.
Well, it is looking like a preseason game with all these penalties.
Yeah, we're treading water here. 5 yards one way, 5 yards the other way. Penalty flags flying all over the place.
Well, as you said, the field only 50 yards, so when you're on the 10-yard line, you're in, you know, the proverbial red zone. And as we've all said, I think it's very, very difficult, or more difficult to score here than if you're out further. There's just a lot more room. It gets awfully tight in here.
Fitzgerald pumps on third down, and the pass caught. It's caught by Tremaine Neal for the touchdown.
Big target is the tree, and it disappointed John Bon Jovi.
6'3" is Tremaine Neal from Valdosta State.
He played basketball there at Valdosta State as well.
Football and basketball. Valdosta State, one of those wide open passing schools, 1AA.
That was a good route. A little stop and go. And you can't do that unless you get very good pass protection. And Fitzgerald got it that time.
We'll see if Schmitz has regained his confidence now after 3 misses hitting an extra point. It's a fake, direct snap, and the 2-point conversion is good to the backup quarterback, Jermaine Alfred, who carried it across the goal line for the 2-point conversion.
You know, 215 two-point plays last year. So that, you know, you see a lot of 2-point plays, and a clever little play by Mike New's team.
My name is Victor Koryabuk. I was born in the Soviet Union. My family and I, we moved to America when I was a teenager. Today I'm a striker driver in the United States Army. Growing up, I was told to be like everybody else. In America, it's different. You can express yourself. You can show people who you really are, what you can do. That's why I don't take my freedom for granted, and I'm willing to fight for it.
Catch an American success story. See what's next for Victor at GoArmy.com.
Neptune, god of the sea, the force of the oceans, the power of a washing machine. Introducing the Maytag Neptune TL. No other top-load washer cleans better, and with no agitator, it's gentle on your clothes. It's almighty, and it's all Maytag.
Well, that's a keeper.
Now available at Lowe's, the new Maytag Neptune TL, with free delivery for a limited time.
Right. Got it. Yeah. Well, that's great news. I appreciate it. Goodbye. Well, I've got some fantastic news.
I'm out of here.
No, it was Geico. Just saved myself a bunch of money on my car insurance.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The AFL on NBC is brought to you by Lowe's, where you'll find all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, improving home improvement. And by the United States Army, an army of one. New Orleans has its first lead ever in franchise history. They're up 21-14 over the Philadelphia Soul after scoring on the first possession of the second half.
Can you call that a handsome-looking football? Is that proper? That's a handsome-looking football.
So, yeah, I like it too.
How'd you like to be kicking the ball to Tyrone Jones, number 6 of the Philadelphia Soul? Here's a guy that in 1998 returned 4 kickoffs in successive weeks, 4 separate weeks, right in a row, of a kickoff for a touchdown.
Mitch boots it his way. Just off the bottom part of the net, the iron part. And Jones nearly broke free. Somebody grabbed him by the jersey there just short of the 10-yard line. It was Dan Curran. As we go to Lewis.
All right, Tom, thanks so much. Take a look up at Suite 62, where you'll find John Bon Jovi's suite and everybody hanging out, including Bill Belichick, coming off a Super Bowl win last week with the New England Patriots. Congratulations on all that. Here's a smile because you must be able to relax, but I have to ask you, why are you here? What's the connection between you and Bon Jovi and watching this first arena game for the Philadelphia Soul?
Well, John and I have been friends for a long time, all the way back to my days as a defensive coordinator with the Giants, and I was really excited when he bought the franchise and you know, became a football owner, so here we go.
All right. That's great advancement of the ball. You know, there are a lot of NFL owners now in the game of arena football. How long has this game been on your radar screen?
Yeah, well, like Mr. Benson, who owns the Saints, owns this too. But, you know, I haven't had a chance to see it just because there isn't a team up in the Boston area, but see it on TV. It's really exciting, a lot of offense. You know, this isn't exactly a defensive coach's dream, but you see a lot of scoring, a lot of points.
And what about the players? Do you, as an NFL coach, do you watch her and say, you know, that guy might be able to play for me, or maybe some of my guys couldn't handle this game?
Well, it is a different game from what we play in the NFL, but you know, we certainly keep our eye on the best players and try to scout them, and you know, sooner or later, someone of them may have an opportunity to do that.
And we'll call that a touchdown.
That's a nice play.
Bill, thanks so much as we throw it back up to Tom Hammond. Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome.
All right, Tom.
Hi, Lewis. A smiling Super Bowl winning coach. The first play was 30 yards. The key play went to Keita Crespina on a screen pass. Michael Harrison made a nice block for him. And then the payoff on the pass from Nick Browder to Ricky Ross.
Yeah, and just a few plays before Ricky Ross set it up with a kickoff return. And just so hard to cover these guys on those option routes, which we've seen a couple of times from Philadelphia. Nice touch pass by Browder over those 2 inside linebackers.
Now, this is the AFL we've known to love. 2 plays, 40 yards, touchdown.
Yeah, that's a big, long drive in the AFL, we know. 2 plays.
I can imagine that Coach Belichick is a well-known defensive coach squirming in his seat up there as he sees the 2-play drive.
Yep.
Ken Hensley will attempt the extra point. Hamill holds, Hensley kicks, it's no good. Well, it is a difficult chore to boot it between that little, into that slack net between those uprights. We've seen some misses today. 1-point Voodoo lead.
I love your apartment, Brian. And Frank is so well behaved.
Yeah, we're best buddies. I'm gonna grab some Bud Lights.
Okay. You're so cute.
I think you're cute too.
You talk?
Baby, I do a little bit more than just talk. But let's cut the chit-chat, head upstairs, or we can, you know... Whoa, here he comes. Act natural.
Fresh, smooth, real Bud Light.
I'll be right back.
So how do you feel about back hair?
It's all here.
Baby Ruth, the real deal, has crunchy, whole roasted peanuts. The real deal has chewy nougat. The real deal has rich, creamy caramel. Because whether you're the man in the middle, the guy between the pipes, or a great tasting candy bar, being the real deal is about what's on the inside. Baby Ruth from Nestle, the real deal.
What's better than fantasy football?
AFL Fantasy Football. More touchdowns, more yards, more excitement. Free salary cap football. Win cash prizes. AFLFantasy.com, powered by Sandbox Plus. Log on for registration and rules. Play AFL Fantasy Football.
9:09 left in the third quarter. Each team has had a possession in the third quarter so far, and each team has scored a touchdown. The difference, Philadelphia missing the extra point attempt after New Orleans had successfully gone for two. And now Hensley will kick off. Aaron Bailey off the net. Bailey up the center of the field with a cut back, a nice little nifty move, and then swamped at the 15-yard line. Crespina led the charge.
Well, Tom, we've seen a number of missed extra points and missed field goals today. It's tough. The comparison, and the goal was 18.5 feet in the outdoor game in the NFL. Try it inside. Only 9 feet and 5 feet higher. So it's not surprising that we've seen so many missed extra points and field goals.
And when you stand on that field and look at that target, it looks like just a tiny.
It's like, you know, somebody said it's like trying to kick a ball through a keyhole.
Incomplete pass. Ruled incomplete.
Today with Bill Ryan, the local presser, had an article about the kickers and said that's what it was like. Trying to kick a football through a keyhole.
They might have to put up with the wind or the cold temperatures indoors, but it's a trade-off. That target is much smaller.
Well, and you have to be a great athlete as a kicker, too. We've mentioned that oftentimes, we haven't seen it today, but oftentimes those kickers are the last line of defense and making tackles. I was just talking to Brian Smith before the game. He said he made 13 tackles last season.
And most of them saved a touchdown.
Indeed.
Fitzgerald, second down play, over the head of Bailey, incomplete. And you heard the collision, meanwhile, as Fitzgerald delivered the ball and then took a hit.
There's Dwayne Sabb, number 56, another player from New Hampshire. Putting the hit on John Fitzgerald. Again, you got to anticipate. You really got to get rid of the ball quickly. Yeah, a lot of shots. Well, wow. Ouch, ouch.
Dwayne Sabb charged as a 1AA All-American at New Hampshire and New England Defensive Player of the Year. On third down, penalty flag, stop play.
Boy, he got Sabb on that one.
Sabb was licking his chops after nearly getting to Fitzgerald.
Encroachment, defense, number 56. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, third down.
And the new rule change in the Arena Football League a year ago, a defensive offsides was an automatic first down, no matter how much yardage you had to go. But they changed the rule. I think it's a little better this year this way. But John Fitzgerald using the old voice inflection quite well there.
To draw Dwayne Sabb, who, by the way, was on a Super Bowl team with the Patriots, their earlier Super Bowl win. Fitzgerald's pass deflected and incomplete. Looks like Crespina made another nice play.
We talked about Crespina, what a good athlete. First half he had. He gave up one touchdown, but boy, he's made some good plays. Another one right there by Keita Crespina.
What was Kevin Porter, the defensive coordinator of New Orleans, saying to us about his defensive secondary? I hope they had some temporary amnesia.
Yeah, you have to forget in this league, you're gonna have some people score on you a lot more in the outdoor game. The offsides. Oh, man. C.J. McLean, number 42, got an unbelievable jump offside.
Yeah, and Fitzgerald with that outburst just cost himself a penalty.
Well, you know, those defensive ends, they see the man in motion, and they know the ball is going to be snapped when that man in motion gets toward the line of scrimmage, and that's what McLean, number 42, saw and felt, but jumped early. And then smacked Fitzgerald.
And then Fitzgerald smacked him back, and that's when the flags and hats and everything else flew.
There are 2 fouls on the play. Encroachment, defense, unabated to the quarterback, number 42. Personal foul, defense, after the play is over, number 73. Both fouls will be administered, first down.
73 is Michael Harrison, and 42 is C.J. McClain. He got off early. There's the late shot. That should have been a penalty.
Right. And now watch Fitzgerald.
Well, see, that shouldn't be a penalty on Harrison, should it?
Yeah.
Well,
that's what.
They're a lot bigger than I am, too.
When you're a quarterback, you always pick on single-digit guys. You never, when the guys with double digits, you never want to pick on them.
Especially those double-digit jerseys that are stretched real wide.
Yeah.
Draw play. Michael Blair with his first carry, tackled by C.J. McClain.
You know, Michael Blair had 91 yards rushing last year for Carolina. Doesn't sound like an entire year. And I'm not talking about it in a game. Well, that's a lot of yardage.
Michael played at Coach New's alma mater, Ball State.
Yeah. He was actually a tailback at Ball State, and a good receiver. Caught 92 passes out of the backfield as a tailback at Ball State. He's bulked up a little bit, as you can tell, 265 pounds, and because he plays the fullback position, and then on defense he's the MAC linebacker.
Second down. Fitzgerald hit. Incomplete though. Diving attempt at the interception made, but couldn't quite get there before it hit the ground. Travis Compton almost caught it.
He almost caught it. And Travis McDonald, number 44, an absolute drill shot on Fitzgerald. Again, this is game one. I mean, you've got a long season ahead of you, and John Fitzgerald taking some big shots. Nice loop there by number 44, McDonald. As that MAC linebacker, he's allowed to do that. Not a lot of stunting, but that one linebacker, the MAC linebacker, is allowed to do that.
Third down. Fitzgerald pumps once. Crossing pattern. Complete. Touchdown. Anthony Collins.
I'll tell you, a lot of respect for John Fitzgerald, Tom. You know, you see the kind of shots, you take play after play, and you just kind of keep hanging in there. You got to be tough. You have to throw the ball to touch, and he did there to Anthony Collins. Amazes me you can have so much touch after you get hit so hard.
Seems like all your feeling would be gone. Your arms would be numb after some of those hits he's taken. Schmitz the extra point. This one dead center. So John Fitzgerald has thrown his third touchdown pass of the game, and the Voodoo increased their lead. This pass to Collins. And the New Orleans Voodoo now ahead of the Philadelphia Soul, 28-20.
Somewhere, there's a man accessing sensitive information by way of a fingerprint, while a woman keeps track of millions of dollars in inventory, safeguarding it from the warehouse to your house. And a dad checks on his business from his son's baseball game. What do all these people have in common? They rely on America's #1 security company, ADT. Always there.
Observe the panicked look of the last-minute shopper. Fortunately, Helzberg Diamonds' value promise ensures the perfect gift at the perfect price. Panic button off. Helzberg Diamonds. Confidence comes in a burgundy box.
It's racing's greatest weekend from Daytona. Next Saturday, noon Eastern, the Hershey Kisses 300. Then, next Sunday at noon Eastern, the main event. True American heroes in search of the ultimate victory lane. The great American race, the Daytona 500. Next weekend on NBC.
Just behind those players, Tom Benson, the owner of the Voodoo and the New Orleans Saints. There he is.
He's got to be happy. Off to a good start for the Voodoo. Up by 8.
In the first half, these two teams combined for 4 touchdowns and 10 possessions. Second half, different story. 3 touchdowns, 3 possessions, with number 4 coming up.
It's incredible how you keep track of these things. It really is.
Jones takes it off the net. Tyrone Jones. This guy's got a good block. Flag is down. Cutting back. They dive on him at the 16-yard line. Check out Monday's edition of USA Today for complete coverage of the Arena Football League, including box scores, stats, league leaders, and more. Plus, log on to AFLFantasy.com, powered by Sandbox Plus, for complete AFL fantasy stats. Half the distance to the goal line on an illegal block by Crespina. That'll put the ball back at the Philadelphia 2.
You know, field position in the arena game is overrated. I mean, you know, 'cause you really can't score from anywhere. We haven't seen any real long touchdowns thus far today, but, you know, you always worry about field position in the outdoor game.
Look at the yardage numbers exactly the same for the quarterbacks, 156 yards passing each. So it's Nick Browder's turn. They try to answer the Voodoo score. Browder's pass caught by Jones, but low, and he had to go down to the turf right there as we go to New York and check in with Al Troutwig.
Take you just outside Atlanta for the New York Dragons and the Georgia Force.
Yeah, Aaron Garcia just steps back. He does what he does so well. He finds Curtis Fagan along that back lane. Great job of catching it and staying in bounds.
Aaron Garcia looking good. 3 touchdowns throwing, 1 touchdown rushing. 32-21 New York. Tom?
Aaron Garcia threw 100 touchdowns last year, believe it or not.
One of the premier arms in the AFL. That one dropped. Looked like the double whammy was coming on to Jones. He saw the 2 defenders and the sideboard there, and all that caused him to lose his concentration.
Well, you know, Tyrone Jones was talking to us yesterday about actually in this league 3 hits every time you catch the ball. You know, either a defender hits you, and then you usually hit the ground that the second time. Sometimes you hit the boards. A third time, as he did there, he said you can get hit 3 different times on the same route.
In fact, he was in the whirlpool when I came into the training camp. I understand why.
Yeah.
Tyrone played for the legendary Eddie Robinson at Grambling. Holds on to that one.
Oh, that's a good catch by Tyrone Jones. Man. 86 catches a year ago, 20 touchdowns, and he's caught 2 today.
And that one went for 20 yards and a Philadelphia first down. Chris Pointer, the defensive specialist, one of them for the Voodoo, made the tackle, but into New Orleans territory.
That's about as calm as you see Ron Jaworski, isn't it? Oh, Jaws.
1:10 to go in the third quarter.
72. Monday. Go!
Browder still not down. Flag down, and he throws it into the stands. That was a fine play by Nick Browder.
That was a fantastic, lousy catch by the fan in the stand. Went through about 4 guys' hands in the stands. There, he finally got it. Yeah.
We're expecting him to get it up there.
I mean, he was the 3rd or 4th guy who had his hands on the ball, and he gets to keep it.
There was a penalty marker. Actually, there are 2 of them. One in the defensive secondary and one back at the line of scrimmage.
The 2 fouls on the play. Illegal defense, linebacker out of the box, number 27. That penalty will be declined. Holding on the offense, number 75. That penalty will be declined due an offset. Replay the down.
Doug Flutie explaining a couple of offensive things there to the defensive coach.
Yeah, they're looking.
Look, here's what you do. Look, can't do that.
We talked about Doug. Doug played great in the outdoor game, but he could play pretty well in the indoor game as well.
I can see him scooting all over that field, can't you?
Yeah, he'd be playing with a smile on his face. Always been some magic about Doug Flutie, no matter where he's played, college, professional ranks. Fun guy to watch.
Yep, in Canada and in the United States. Too bad that no one gave him a chance right off the bat because of his size and went those years to Canada. That catch made by Gary Compton, tackled by Chris Pointer.
We talked a little bit earlier about Gary Compton and what he has done in this league, which has been phenomenal. A 3-time All-Arena selection. one of 3 men, I think, to catch passes for over 10,000 yards. Talking to Mike Trigg yesterday about Gary. He played in college with him. A very, very consistent player. You know exactly what you're getting in the first quarter and in the fourth quarter. Same kind of consistency from Gary Compton.
And that last catch by Compton will be the final play of the third quarter. We've reached the end of the third quarter in Philadelphia. The score, the New Orleans Voodoo 28 and the Philadelphia Soul 20. And we'll return to the AFL on NBC, the fourth quarter from Philadelphia, right after these messages from your local NBC station.
NBC Tuesday, for one night only. It's Thursday on Tuesday.
What did I say?
Starting with Friends and the Danny DeVito episode everyone's still talking about.
This is so hard!
Followed by an all-new emotional Will and Grace.
How much do I have to eat before the pain goes away?
And on Scrubs, Michael J. Fox makes his triumphant return to television.
Can you not point that at me?
Friends, Will and Grace, and Michael J. Fox on Scrubs, NBC Tuesday.
GMC Envoy XUV. Multifunctional, adaptable, retractable. The revolutionary Envoy XUV. There's more utility with more utility. Only at your GMC dealer. Professional grade engineering. It's not more than you need, just more than you're used to.
How does Toyota's President's Week sales event compare to past presidents? Well, George Washington was America's #1 president. Toyota Camry, America's #1 selling car. Howard Taft needed extra space. The Toyota Camry has a roomy, spacious interior. Roughly 2.9% of the population knows anything about Millard Fillmore, whereas the finance rate on Toyota Camry is also a mere 2.9%, or get $750 cash back. So, see your Toyota dealer. With 17 models at Toyota's President's Week event, which Toyota is perfect for you?
The Lincoln Mercury Storm Team. Save now on the complete family of Lincoln and Mercury SUVs, including a $299 lease on Mercury Mountaineer. Capable outside with all-wheel drive. Comfortable inside with no-charge leather seating. Get Mercury Mountaineer Convenience Model now with a $299 a month red carpet lease and $19.99 cash to its site. Find the Lincoln Mercury Storm Team under one snow-covered roof. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
A weekend in every forecast, only on NBC 10 News.
This copyrighted telecast of the Arena Football League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written permission of the AFL and NBC.
With producer Jim Bell, director John Gonzalez, Tom Hammond, Pat Hayden, Lewis Johnson at the Wachovia Center in Philadelphia. The first ever game by the Philadelphia Soul and the New Orleans Voodoo. And as we start the fourth quarter, it's 28-20, New Orleans leading Philadelphia. And the Soul with a second down and 6 inside the 20-yard line of New Orleans. Nick Browder for the end zone. Jones held on, did he? No, incomplete. Violent collision with the boards. And the pass incomplete.
You know, if you're John Bon Jovi and an owner, I think one thing you think about is the field configuration. Some arenas don't have that backboard in the end zone, and it allows the receiver to make a catch a little bit easier.
And you know, Pointer heads-up play to push him into the board before he got the foot down. Chris Pointer, who played on a Kentucky State Championship high school team at Male High School in Louisville. Went to Louisville and then transferred to Kentucky State, where he was a 3-year starter.
You know everything about guys from Kentucky.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Browder intended for Graham and incomplete. Yeah, I thought it might have been too. Yeah. Well, there is a flag. Offensive or defensive pass interference against New Orleans.
See old big old number 75, Eric Golston for the Soul, the Philadelphia Soul down there, and huffing and puffing a little bit beginning of the fourth quarter.
Defense, number 3. 10-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So Chris Pointer, who made the good play the time before, is whistled for pass interference there. 5 penalties, 37 yards against New Orleans, and Philadelphia has committed 9 for 64.
talking a moment ago about Eric Olston now playing center for the Soul. And would you talk about these two-way players? Big old guy, 320 pounds, running up and down this field, directing traffic. Knocked down a pass on defense.
First down run. And a good one. Soul train Chris Ryan to the 1 and inside it before Dan Curran finally gets him to the turf.
Wow. The former deputy sheriff.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to tangle with a 315-pound deputy sheriff.
You don't give the sheriff a hard time. We asked him yesterday if he actually ever arrested anybody. He said, oh, yeah. But nobody gave me any tough time. You trust me.
He said, well, sometimes they see you're big, they want to try you.
Yeah.
Not me, brother.
Yeah, large, gregarious guy with a handful of cookies yesterday afternoon.
3 carries for 15 yards for Chris today.
Big day.
Keeper and touchdown for Nick Browder.
Well, he threw the ball into the end zone. I guess they called a penalty on that, too. But flags down, but it was after the score. It's one way to even the numbers up, Tom. We talked about how the defense has a numbers advantage, 5 defenders against 3 blockers and a ball carrier with the fullback, but sometimes the quarterback can carry it. You get that 4th blocker with the fullback, and that's what happened there. Nick Browder gets in the end zone, and he slammed the ball into the end zone backboard, and I saw 2 flags fly.
Unsportsmanlike conduct after the score, number 12, throwing the ball into the dasher boards. That penalty will be enforced on the
That's Philadelphia fans will love. Ron George, you thought they just introduced him.
Or introduced you.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they love Ronnie here. There's the penalty.
Yeah, they got him worked up now.
Oh, yeah. Makes for a very long extra point. We talk about how this is only 9 feet there. 9 feet wide versus the 18.5 feet. Outdoors.
No problem. Ken Hensley, the rookie from Western Carolina, having a good day kicking in his first AFL game. After this touchdown keeper by Nick Browder. And the Philadelphia Soul have pulled within 1. No harm done on the foul for unsportsmanlike conduct. Extra point was good. It's a 1-point game.
Here I come, I'm for safest of all. I can lock on my doors. It's the only way to live in cars.
Go for 2. Let's get out.
Time out! Come out! Time out!
He's all over him. Interference.
Right in his hand! Oh.
So glad I'm not playing anymore.
Touchdown! Yeah!
Every armchair quarterback needs a super big screen TV. Aaron's has a great selection at the guaranteed lowest price. So do the math.
Game over? Game over? What?
Starsky took his job a little too seriously.